Every person will encounter sexual desire at some point, whether it be their own, that of their partner, or those around them. Although the topic of sex and sexual desire has long been a topic of discussion that could be labeled taboo, it is becoming increasingly more relevant to speak about sexual desire in an informative and objective way as it continues to permeate every facet of modern life, from advertising to film and television to relationships. One of the most common ways in which people connect to, identify, or play out their sexual desires is through the consumption of pornography. Pornography has hit unprecedented levels of not only consumption, but availability with the creation of the internet, and as a result, more people are consuming porn more often and at a younger age than ever before. In 2015, 40 million American adults were watching pornographic videos regularly on a weekly basis. And a study done by researchers at the University of Nebraska found that the average age of first exposure to pornography for men was 13 years old. Throughout my feminism courses, we have spoken about the ways in which race and racism are ingrained into our lives and institutions, and the behaviors that we take part in as a result of these ingrained systems of oppression. It's no secret that the consumption of pornography helps to shape our sexual preferences. So I began to wonder, does porn reinforce racism? The answer is yes. First and foremost, it's important to recognize that like many other industries, the porn industry itself is racist. There are fewer roles for women of color in pornographic films than there are for white women, which creates intense competition between the many actresses who want these few roles. As a result of this, producers see an opportunity to offer them lower pay, which these actresses accept in exchange for the chance to break into one of these few coveted spots in the industry. On the other hand, men of color are very in demand for porn production because of the rising popularity of interracial porn in recent years. However, the way that the producers and directors film and cast these men of color is inherently racist, with the popularity of white supremacist messages in porn rising quickly. Pornhub revealed that 1.75 million people search for a porn genre called cuck every month. These films involve a man watching his partner have sex with another man as a means of emasculation. These films nearly always cast a man of color to emasculate the white man by exhibiting his projected sexual prowess with a white woman. What this means is that black men in the porn industry are being forced to conform to a stereotype of what it means and looks like to be both sexual and black. Additionally, white women are paid more for interracial scenes, especially if it can be marketed as their first, while black men are not paid more for having sex with a white woman than they would be paid for having sex with a black woman. So why is this important? Because nothing in culture is neutral, including our ideas about who or what is desirable. If the images that we are consuming are showing us that white women are on the top of the sexual hierarchy, then these images are going to translate into our lives. I'm going to use a Canadian example to illustrate the connection between porn and hierarchical sexual desires and preferences. Pornhub's release of most search genres by geographical area showed that in Manitoba, the most frequently searched porn category is porn featuring Native women. This does not sit very well with me when I consider Canada's long history of racism and abuse towards Indigenous peoples, as well as thousands of missing and murdered Aboriginal women across central and western Canada. Those who have studied sexual racism say that the way in which racial minority groups who are disempowered, in this case it is Indigenous women, get treated in a sexual context extends away from porn and into larger society. This particular case is troubling because of the aspects of power, colonialism, fetishizing, and control that come into play here. Now, I want to address the counter-argument that if so many white women are portrayed so often in porn, then why are they not receiving the same racist effects as other groups? The answer is in the way that they are portrayed. As I previously mentioned, the porn industry casts white women in roles of superiority to their counterparts of color. Additionally, they are paid more and by extension are involved in higher budget pornography. That means that the woman you see having sex on a granite kitchen countertop overlooking beaches and ocean waves is white, and the one being tied to a bed with music being played in the background to cover the voices of the production team is black. As a porn-positive feminist, I do not want to denounce the industry as a whole or those that feel that they enjoy or benefit from consuming pornography. However, moving forward, I think that it is necessary that we think about the images that we're consuming the same way that we think about the articles that we're reading. The porn industry will not change overnight, nor will the demands of the consumers. But if those who do consume and create porn thought more critically about the messages being portrayed and what they truly mean, then the effects of porn could be changed greatly.